Now, at certain times of the year, as well as the government's agenda, individual MPs have the opportunity to put what's known as private members' bills through the House.
And each week here on the Saturday Selection, we'll be speaking to an MP trying to persuade their colleagues to turn their bill into law.
This week, we're speaking to Mark Jenkinson, the Conservative MP for Workington, who is trying to get a new education bill through Parliament, which will help get better careers guidance for thousands of children. Mark, great of you to join us. How did it go in Parliament yesterday with your private members' bill?
It was really, really good, Phil. Thanks for having me this morning, and Esther. It was really, really good. We passed the remaining stages, despite some tabled amendments which weren't pressed to a vote. We managed to pass all the remaining stages, and it's off to the Lords, I believe, to be introduced on Monday morning.
And what was most fortunate, even if I may say it itself, you didn't have Philip Davis on the floor with you, who is renowned for talking out private bills, because he sometimes doesn't think it goes through the full scrutiny of the House. But more importantly, talking about your bill, I totally believe in careers advice and we need it. Do you want to explain a little bit why you, because you were drawn out of the hat first, you were number one on the list, which is a most coveted position because this bill will make law. Why did you choose that of all the bills you could have chosen?
So I have a real interest in ensuring that our young people get the best start that they possibly can. I have a real belief in meritocracy, but being able to, but giving people the opportunity to use their own latent talents. And I know you do too. Your Westminster Hall debate, Esther, of Tuesday was referred to a lot yesterday, and I thank you for keeping up the pressure for many, many years on good careers advice. And that was the theme of yesterday's debate, was getting good careers advice, good independent careers advice in front of children at the earliest possible opportunity. As I said to Gloria on GBNews the other day, that helps us break down some of those gender and class work stereotypes very early on. But it also, it opens up young people's horizons. And what my bill does is extend the need to procure independent careers advice down from the current year 8 down to year 7. So another 650,000 pupils will be caught in the careers advice net, so to speak. But it also fixes a technical anomaly where not all academies were on the same footing as other state-funded schools. So all state-funded schools right through secondary education now are on the same footing. That gives Ofsted the ability to ensure that all schools are implementing the statutory guidance and trying to attain those Gatsby benchmarks.
And it's not just nice to have. When you look at the figures and the statistics for young people who haven't had careers advice, you see that actually they don't go on to fulfill their dreams. A lot more of them are ending up not in education, not in employment. And so it does have a detrimental effect. And people who do have careers advice end up earning more as well. So there's a real reason to pursue this bill.
Absolutely. And last year, of course, we were doing some really, really good work on those not in education, employment or training, those NEETs. And last year, of course, saw a real blip in those figures. Of the last 2 years, in fact, I've seen a real blip in those figures because of the way the economy was and the way employers couldn't effectively plan for the future. And hopefully we're past a lot of that now, and we can get back to the work that we have been undertaking in the last few years. My bill implements some commitments from the government's Skills for Jobs white paper, so they were happy to support its passage through the House, and hopefully, we get it there before the next prorogation at the end of this session.
I think the other thing, Mark, is that it's not just about children at school knowing what it is they want to do, but also knowing how they can go about getting there and achieving their goals, and providing perhaps role models for them to see how that those people got. I know that's something that you're very big on, Esther. How important do you think it is that we actually provide young people with role models and actually a pathway to achieving what they want to achieve?
It is. I mean, it is incredibly important. There are a lot. I mean, we heard from, in fact, shadow ministers, yes, I think, say that their child's work experience had been undertaken in their own office, and all too often it is work experience can become go to work with mum and dad for a week, or follow mum and dad's path through careers. And there are some high profile jobs that we see that people are in contact with on a daily basis that then forge those paths. But what we need to do is open up all the possibilities to all of these children. I mean, I joked yesterday, I'm 40 at the end of this month, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. But it's, we need to show these youngsters everything that is available and find the thing that suits their talents, their aspirations. We spend so much of our life in work. It is imperative that we find something that delivers for us, not just financially, but for our own, mental well-being throughout our life as well.
And finally, Mark, we can't not ask you about Partygate. You're a Red Wall MP, in the heart of the Red Wall territory in Workington. You're back in your constituency at home. What do the punters in Workington make of what's been going on?
Well, I've been out on the doorsteps this morning. Funnily enough, Philip, just before I came on air, it's a really cold morning in Working, but there was certainly no frosty reception for the Prime Minister. I think the recognition that the stories that we're hearing this week are stories about civil servants and others coming to light because of the PM's investigation. Recognition that he has apologised for all misjudgments across the pandemic, and recognising that he's been dealt a bad hand in his first term as Prime Minister through COVID. But we've got some redemption work to do, without a doubt.
Mark Jenkinson, thank you very much indeed for joining us.